Hi and welcome to my first video in Jurassic World Evolution 3. Today I'm building a zoo-inspired seal habitat for the Dimetrodon. I hope you enjoy and get inspired to make your own version. Let's get to the speed build. I started out by designing the barriers. I was inspired by real life seal habitat barriers, which is usually concrete with like a chain link fence at the top to stop the guests from poking their hands in. You can see I put the Dimetrodons in the habitat first, just so I could get a sense of scale and how tall the barriers need to be, and also to stop the guests from poking their hands in. I think we want any lawsuits yet. I'm gonna get this concrete barrier to be aligned with the chain link fence. It was kind of difficult because both of those pieces aren't really the same size to start with, so you sort of have to kind of balance both of each other out until you get them the same size. One of the difficult things about making this sort of habitat is the water elevates the terrain on the edge of it, which means the paths will be raised and all the pieces will be sort of underground a bit. I sort of came up with a way of fixing this. If I put a piece of like floor on the end of the barrier, it sort of hides the sort of sunken down bit at the edge of the water. So you can sort of see I'm quite a slow builder. This is about like 10 minutes into the footage. Obviously I sped it up so it's only like a minute or two, but it's took me 10 minutes just to get the barrier right. So just kind of for future videos, I'm quite slow at building. I'm planning on starting my own Paleo Zoo series soon. It should be out maybe a few days after this. I just have to edit it. It's already built. Yeah, it should be cool. I've seen a lot of YouTubers starting their own sort of Paleo Zoo series, so I got quite inspired by that, and I want to make my own. So yeah, keep an eye out for that. First voiceover video, so the quality isn't great. I know I'm not great at this, but it takes practice, and you know, in like a year or two, I'll be great at doing voiceovers, and it won't even be an issue. To the speed build, I'm just working on the wall, getting the shape right, and I'm kind of struggling with the size because you know this game is quite difficult to get the scale right to kind of fit with everything else. That's why like I sort of find it hard to make parks that last a long time because I build one habitat that ends up being really small, and then I build the entrance and it ends up being massive, and nothing really sort of fits together. But I think you know if I practice a bit, just kind of like standalone builds, eventually I'll get used to the scale and I'll probably get better at it. To make the clear glass barrier just for the guests to be able to see in and a better viewing experience because no one really wants to look through chain link fence. I'm going to skip ahead a bit because this part's a bit boring. It's just me placing barriers. As I'm recording this, I think the Rebuff DLC has come out. I actually quite like it. It's quite interesting with the new variants skins, with like the Spino, Mosa, and Rex. And I think the Quillops, I think it's called. I think that'd be really cool to put in this park. Well, not in this park, but my Paleo Zoo in the future, because it just kind of reminds me of like a meerkat type thing. And I think the way it can switch between bipedal and the four-legged walking, I think that's really cool, and I think it'd make a really cool attraction in the future. I do think it's on the pricey side, considering you know we get the new building stuff, we got the similar stuff in the Wetlands DLC, we're getting more in the Rebuff DLC, we're getting new skins and variants, but I just think the amount of content is pretty similar to the Wetlands, and the Wetlands DLC was €10, and this is €25. I think that's a bit steep in my opinion. I think I would get it though, because the stuff that it comes with is worth €25 in my opinion. It's just some of it I'm not a huge fan of, like the D-Rex and the Mutodon. I'm not really a huge fan of the sort of hybrid dinosaurs. I don't really use them in any parks or any builds, so I'll probably just be skipping those. But I really like the Quillops and the other guys, the new variants and stuff. I think it's really good. I'd like to hear what you guys think in the comments. Do you like the creatures? Do you think it's worth the price? You know, I'd like to see what you guys think as well. I'm just filling in these little areas with the small rocks. I found this kind of way of getting like really small rocks. If you get the smallest variant of the rock and then turn it down, make it the smallest version, and then turn it to a point where only like the tip sticks out of the ground, it kind of makes it look like a really small rock, and it's really good for filling in gaps around like foliage or bigger rocks. The theme for this habitat is more of kind of a wetlands, sort of deep pond kind of thing, and you can see there's like a little island of rocks in the middle on one side with a tree in it, and I think it's probably my favourite part of the habitat, the favourite like sort of foliage part. I just really like it, really like how it turned out. videos comes out, I'm gonna upload the some of the stuff I used in this to the workshop, like the barriers, any sort of extra little thing I made, some of the rocks, some of the foliage I used, so you guys can sort of make your own version of it, and I'd love to see how you guys use it. Video was pretty bad timing because of the Rebuff DLC literally coming out a day before I made this, so there's going to be a lot of videos being posted, so I hope this doesn't get too forgotten about, but you know, hopefully. Yeah, I mean, it's my first video, so I'm just hoping it does well. It's not my actual first video on this channel because I used to upload Jurassic World Evolution 2 videos. They weren't great. I didn't do voiceovers for them, and they were just a bit like lazily done. But I'm kind of restarting it and just almost like a rebuff, of this channel. Just kind of starting again and change my ways a bit and, improve my content and make it more entertaining for you guys. Viewing kind of area from a different enclosure I made. I'm just reusing it. Work on the kind of feeder for the enclosure. I was going to use sort of like a goat feeder or meat feeder, but I realized it's just too big and it wouldn't really work, and I decided to kind of make my own feeder. It's supposed to be like a fish feeder. Obviously, I don't actually know if Dimetrodon ate fish. I'd assume they probably did, but I kind of lost recording for some of this, but you guys could use it in some of your habitats as well. I'll put it on the workshop. I think it turned out pretty well. And then I put some like bones at the bottom to make it look like they ate food and hasn't been cleaned out yet. And the zookeepers would like come in and take the bones out once they're done. I think it's pretty cool. the end of the speed build. I hope you enjoyed this, and stay tuned for my future videos. I'm hoping to do a paleo park soon. I'll be doing like maybe weekly, maybe monthly videos. Knowing me, I'll probably do monthly videos. But yeah, hope you enjoyed.